Hey, hi. Okay, so it is now September 2nd. Is that right? That's hard to believe. It is. We're through August. And hopefully somebody's still up tonight. It's Labor Day weekend here in America and in a few other countries, it turns out. I didn't realize that. Hi, Connie. Thanks for coming on. So happy Labor Day weekend. I don't know if you, I don't, I'm, tell me where you live so I know if you, hi, Verity. Hey, there you are. Pretty, purple, nice. You're not all that, I know, Connie. Witness, hello. Oh, you're in Texas. Okay, good. So do you celebrate Labor Day weekend? Because some people do, some people don't. For us, the title of this is Sea Organ Public, celebrating the holidays. Did they celebrate the holidays? And it's kind of interesting. Thank you. I watched and then curled it myself. I know I'm kind of corny with my hair. Hindsight, nice. But my husband has always been in retail, so he always works on all the holidays. I did too for a long time. Long time. I know that drill. And especially on like Christmas. Oh my God, the night before Christmas, we'd be up all night long selling all over town, selling to people. Hey, Purple Groovy 69. All right. Hey, Tori and chat family. I'm in St. Louis City, Missouri, where my dad's from. Thank you. Thank you, Connie. I appreciate that. Shade Tree Mechanic. I like that name. Hi, Tori. Glad to see you. You guys all have such great nicks. I really like a lot of them. Squirrel of Oz. There you go. Hey, hey. He's excited to sell. He will stay as late as he can if they're buying. Yeah, that's how we were. We had so much fun with it. It really was. We were selling jewelry. And the night before Christmas, it's really interesting. It's mostly building up to Christmas. It's mostly women. But the night before Christmas, it's almost all men going, I don't know what to get for my wife. They're buying all kinds of stuff. I used to always say, look around your house. That's pretty much what she likes. What's around your home. I think husbands. It's true. But do the Sea Org and the public celebrate holidays? Well, I can't really. Yeah, at the last minute, always. And it's amazing how they never change on the last minute, right before a big holiday. Don't get me a vacuum cleaner. I hear you. I hear you. I've always thought it would be fun to have a store for men for holidays, on like what, just to help them, because I've seen what a dilemma it is for them. And it's kind of a simple thing to walk them through it. But without walking them through it, they're like, I don't know what to get, and it's always the last minute, so it's totally freaked out. Will Big Blue have a Christmas party this year? I've been out for 23 years. How do I know? I'm kind of like with you guys, where it's like day to day, you see what's happening. It's different than it was when I was in. So yeah, they're very, very lost. It's amazing. And they think, you can see by their actions, they think they're on it. But you can get a lot of money out of them at the last minute. Well, that's true. That's true. A lot of people buy a lot of things right before the big holidays. Your husband loves to shop and I hate it. That's good. That's good. I don't really like shopping either. And my husband hated it. And he was the world's worst gift buyer. I mean, I love the guy, but he just was awful when it came to gifts. And so I finally but I think that's true for a lot of guys. They just don't know what to get. So what I started doing was I would buy things all year long at sales, right? Where things are marked down dramatically. Like Labor Day weekend is a big sales weekend. If you have to buy anything, I mean, think about it in your head. things that you might need in the next few months. Get it this weekend because they're way marked down. Stuff is really marked down. Hi, Jamie. Hey, don't think they will celebrate Christmas since they don't believe in Jesus. Oh, they do. They celebrate a lot of things that they don't really believe in because they want people to think that they do. They lie. They'll say, "Oh yeah, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian and a Scientologist." Or like, I'm a Catholic and I'm a Scientologist. Well, when was the last time you went to mass? Oh, 40 years ago, right? So are they really? No, but they say they are. But I forgot what I was telling you guys about. There you go. Does anybody remember what I was talking about? I forgot. I got off onto something about the Sea Org and the public celebrating holidays. Well, I can't really speak for the Sea Org now because I've been out for 23 years and I wasn't really in the Sea Org except 1972 for 6 months. And then they routed me out because of epilepsy. But I always worked alongside of them and next to them. And it never seemed like they really celebrated stuff. They kind of pretend like they do because they want the public to think they do. And the public, like they have these different events for the public, but it's always to sell things. So no matter what they're quote unquote celebrating, they're always selling things. That's the end goal, is to get money in. And that becomes really offensive after a while. It's like, God, you can't just celebrate something. Wait, what happened here? Oh, here it is. Just to keep up appearances is my question about Scientology celebrating holidays, but you're answering the question. Thanks. You're welcome, Connie. Yeah, that's what I think. It's mostly for PR reasons. It's not for any religious reasons, that's for sure. But even like Labor Day weekend, it's not one that they would really celebrate. We did in my family because I grew up with a mother who was the queen of holidays. She loved holidays and she loved to celebrate them. So I just grew up with that all the time. I hope Aaron will be coming to LA. Oh, all right. Well, I hope he is too. Here's his comment. Thank you for putting comment in front of it. And if you have a question, also put that in front of it. But I don't know if he will. I think he will eventually, but who knows? Life rolls on. So a bunch of the kids are all with Laura and that group. They're traveling, doing the shows and stuff. So if you're in, maybe look on her website and see where they're going to be, because you might be able to go to some of the shows. They've apparently been pretty successful. So that's good. I really like the last one, although I'm still getting my hearing back from I think it was a couple of weeks ago. I was like, oh, I will never sit underneath a loud speaker like that again, ever. Not ever. But anyway, public, yeah, it depends on the family. It just depends. Public is very different because they all do different things. Okay, wait, here's one that starred. Okay, just to keep, oh yeah, that's what Connie said, just to keep up appearances. You were talking about your husband being a bad shopper. Oh, thank you. Thank you for reminding me. That's it. That's right. And so what I would do is just go to these sales all year long. And he was a master at kind of, making something really fun, like presentations. So he would put it in a box and wrap it up and make it all special and stuff like that. So I would buy things all year long, and because I forget things, I'd give it to him and then forget all about it. So by Christmas, it was like brand new. I was like a little kid. I was like, oh, wow, cool. I'd remember it that, oh yeah, I bought that, but I had forgotten it. I'd get it, forget it. And then when I'd get it at Christmas, I'd be real excited. So it's kind of a neat way, if you're with someone that isn't good at shopping or doesn't like to, That way you can get things that you like, and they're happy that you're happy, kind of thing. And vice versa. You can ask them to do the same thing, although usually men don't like to shop anyway. They're hard. That's why I said I think it'd be fun to have a holiday shop for men, because they are difficult to buy for. Not really, but they are. So I think women are very, very easy to buy for, because they kind of like anything. Like I used to go to when I was selling jewelry, there's a place downtown called, it's just for sheriffs and stuff like that. And it's like confidential, high security, nobody's allowed in here. And they would drive in, and I would just drive in behind them, and they'd get out of their car, and I'd hop out of my car, and I'd say, okay, what are you getting your wife for Valentine's Day or Christmas or whatever, whatever it is. And they'd go, I don't know. I haven't gotten her anything. I don't know what to get her. It's okay. Why don't you come in with me? I'm going to show some of the guys different stuff. Now, this is the first time I went. Nobody knew me there, but I just say that. And they let me in. I mean, this is years ago. So it was in what was it, like the 80s kind of thing was when I was doing that. And so security was much lighter, and they would let me in. And then I'd say, go get some of the other guys and bring them around, and I'll help them. And I would say to everybody, because they didn't know what to get. And so I talked to each one of them. What does your wife wear? What's in her house? That kind of thing. And then we'd pick out something, and I'd say, look, I'll be back in 2 weeks. And if she doesn't like it, you can trade it in and get something else. So that worked perfectly. It worked really well. There's 59 people that are here, but there's hardly any comments. Are the comments stopped or something? Auto Star. Is Lovett here or Sophie? I thought I thought I saw her, but now I can't see anything. Oh, here we go. Wait. Oh, there you are. There's everybody. Because I saw you guys all come in, and then it just went to nothing, and I couldn't see anybody. Now I see you. Okay, good. Good. Okay, good. Yeah. Okay, so here's a question from Once a Witness. All right. Do orgs ever have a sale on their books? Never. Never. Not ever. I mean, I think it's a high crime to do that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Care4YC. Nice. Hi, Tori Magoo, 44, and Chad from Never In, Always Against. I should have had that when I was a kid. That's so funny that it worked out that way on the gifts with your husband. I know, he was a character. He worked, when we first got married, he worked, Tower Records. Have you guys all heard of Tower Records? It was like record companies and stuff like that. And he worked there. I think it was at Tower Records. It was one of those big record places, setting up the windows. I think I've told this story, but I'm going to tell it again just because I'm talking about holidays and gifts and things. And this wasn't really a holiday, but we moved because I was pregnant and had our son. We had our son, and I wanted him to have a yard. So we moved a little ways away from Silver Lake. So we had a little house with a yard. And it had kind of a little office in it. I've always wanted my own office. And so I was like, just really hoping to get a computer. This was he was born in 77. So it was probably 78, right? So it was a long time ago, before you guys were even a thought, most of you. And hi, Chi. Thanks for coming by. Coloring and listening. Mizzy, nice. Hit that like button. Thank you. Thank you for reminding him. Hi, Julie. Somebody remember what I'm talking about. Patricia, hi. Good morning from Denmark. Ooh, sweet. Denmark. Nice. Jamie Elbay. Cool. Are the books expensive? Everything's expensive in Scientology. It used to not be, but now it is. It's very expensive. Everything is. I also forgot to say that I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico, shade tree mechanic. Thank you. That's cool. I'm going to be in New Mexico. I'm going to be in Santa Fe pretty soon. In fact, I'm going to fly into Albuquerque. My brother's going to come pick me up at Albuquerque, and then we're going to go back to Santa Fe. And then I have to come back. I have to take a little shuttle back to Albuquerque and then get on the airplane. So you should come meet me when I come back, Shade Tree Mechanic. That would be fun. I know it'd be fun. Yeah, the little house, right, with the yard. Thank you. Thank you, Julie. I appreciate that. On 1978, I was 11. I know, that's what I'm saying. You were barely a thought, some of them. So I know, I'm excited, Connie. So my age hurts. My age doesn't. I've been better every year since I got older. And now I'm 77 and I love it. Both my brothers feel the same. That once we hit 70, it was like bingo. Everything was good. It was really it's very ironic because we didn't think it was going to be that way. Are you going to take the train? I am not. I was, but then my friends got me to and love it. Helped me look at it's a really long ride for me, to sit that long. And so no, I'm not going to take the train. I was, but I'm not. I'm going to fly. Now let me finish my story. So my husband is setting up. I'm thinking we come home and it's my birthday. And I'm thinking he's got maybe a computer for me for my little office that we got. And he goes, I've got something really special for you for your birthday. And I think, really? And you have to get this guy's really corny in certain ways. And I open up the door and there is, and I don't even like Paul Anka. I never have. I mean, I don't even like him as a singer or anything. And there is a full-size, tall, cardboard, flashing Paul Anka in the room. And I said, what is this? Are you kidding me? I'm thinking computers, and he gets me a flashing Paul Anka. Anyway, it was very funny, but it didn't work out. And it took months. And I think 6 months later, we went to a party and he came up to me and he goes, see, I told you somebody'd want it. And some guy heard about it and said, yeah, I'd love it in my house. So he gave it to him. But it's just, that was my husband. He was funny. I know. It's funny. It really is. It's a very funny. I mean, when you see the dichotomy of me with a computer thinking, ooh, my library, right? And he with the flashing plaque. I was like, what is this? So that's when I decided, you know what? I'm going to just buy him. I'm going to buy little gifts and give them to him. And then he can just stash them away and decorate them or whatever. And I always had money. What I do is I always keep a little Christmas. It's like I have a regular billing account. And then I have a one for car/Christmas. And I always keep, which doesn't sound like much, but it was for a long time, was $500 in it. Now I got to get it up a little bit higher because it costs more for stuff. But anyway, I always had money, so I would just buy stuff. And then if he wanted to, he could give me stuff back. He could give me money or not. I didn't care. But it was just fun to get stuff that I wanted, and he'd wrap it all up and make it really fun. So it was fun. Deanne Rice, I don't know. My sister-in-law lived in Albuquerque, and she took me to Madrid a couple of times. Wow, we had a great time. Nice. I don't know who Deanne Rice is, Connie, but thank you for saying that. Do you think if Scientology had a female leader as head, it would be better? No. I mean, I'm not saying no because it's a female. I think it's no because they have to follow the tech, and the tech is screwed up. It would be better than Miscavige. I think anybody leading it would be better than Miscavige. But I think because they have to follow the tech, it would still be pretty weird. Oh, it is Mad Rid that was my ex-sister-in-law. Okay. And she passed away, Connie? Okay. Hey, Sophie, hi. Good to see you. Yard sailing is fun. Okay. The Mad Rid in New Mexico. Sorry to confuse you. Okay, this is a comment from Connie. And Mad RID is in Mexico. Oh, is that like a place? Mad Rid? I'm a little confused on it, but that's all right. Because it says it is, no, it is Mad Rid that was my ex sister in law. So that must be that her your nickname for her. Anyway, Labor Day weekend, I grew up in Chicago. In Chicago, their seasons are very definite. It's like fall, spring, or, winter, spring, summer, fall. And fall is, summer, the end of summer. Hi, Kim. The end of summer is, I'm trying to think of what it was. Ask your questions at the end, please. The end of summer was Labor Day weekend. That's when, because the kids all went back to school. And so this was sort of the end, High Purple Groovy 69. And it was kind of the end of the summer for us. But for a lot of us, we were happy to go back to school because we had 3 months of summer and it was fun. We did a lot of stuff in summer. Yeah, I grew up in Chicago in Park Ridge, but which is a suburb northwest of Chicago. And my husband would always say, "I'm from Chicago," and he'd lean in and say, "She's not from Chicago. She's from the suburbs." He always had to clarify that with any person that said it. It was so funny. It was like you grew up in, I don't know where he grew up in Uptown, which is just north of the Loop. But it was just funny. It was a button he had. Fall is the best season. I agree. Fall and spring. Those are the two that I love. Disregard that it was a reminder for where you were in your story. Oh, okay. All right. No, I appreciate that, Chi. I'm not expressing myself. Sorry. It's not important. Okay, Connie, don't worry about it. I don't care what anyone else says. Okay, Larry. Oh, as far as fall. Yeah, I understand. I know people are very passionate who've lived in seasons. They're very passionate about which season they love. Most people I know from Chicago love fall and spring. Very few people love winter because it's so cold and it's just incredible. Yeah, I'm looking forward to fall, even here. And it doesn't get very cool here, but it'll be better. My favorite seasons are spring and autumn. Yeah, I think that's true for a lot of people. Oh, it's spring there now. Oh, that's right, because you're in New Zealand. I always forget that you're the opposite. When it's winter here, it's summer there. When it's summer there, it's winter here. Chicago looks like a neat place to visit. It is a wonderful place. It really is. There's endless things to do, delicious restaurants and food, fun people. I really love Chicago. If my friends weren't all here, I would move back to Chicago because I really like it. Hi, Hot Mama. I try to avoid saying hello in Tori's chat so I don't fill it up. Aw, well, you can say hi. I don't want you to feel like you can't say hi, Chi. Hate winter lasts too long here in Minnesota, right? Yeah, I know. I think that's kind of true for anywhere where they really have winter. I mean, I went to the state of Washington, and they had kind of a cool winter because it was very light. It was like it would snow and it'd be out there for a couple of days and then it'd melt. Or it'd rain and then everything would be back to being green. It was pretty cool. Oh, wait, Sophie's saying something. Oh yeah, here's Sophie. Wait, where'd it go? Okay, here we go. It's been cold and rainy here, so it's getting warmer now. Oh, that's good. That's good. And Connie, my father was a traveling salesman back in the day in Chicago. So was my dad. It was one of his favorite places to go because the food was so great. Yeah, my dad, was originally a football player. then became a traveling salesman for a while, and then became a broadcaster in the 60s with NBC. And then he passed away very young at 51, way too young. But it was really funny with my dad. I don't know if this is true for you, but people would always say, "What does your dad do?" And I would say, he's manufacturer's agent for RB Tools. I never knew what a manufacturer's agent was, which is basically a salesman. But he would always say, "I'm a manufacturer's agent for RB Tools." He would say it like that, all one line. And I didn't know what RB Tools was. So I didn't know anything about it at all, right? And then he passed away, and I was telling my mom about that. And she said, Tori, don't feel bad. I never knew what he was doing either. None of us understood manufacturer's agent. That's where Scientology's looking up the words is a good thing. Because then at least once you clear the words, you're like, oh, okay, that's better. We still clear words a lot because it does really help. It's amazing when you don't get it. Oh, here's Connie saying a comment. The state of Washington was take your breath away beautiful. I know, it really is. It's lovely. It really is. And shocking. Like he was in, what do you call it? There's Seattle, Washington, and he was across the state in, what was the name of it? It's across the state inland. I just forgot it. But anyway, it was a really cool city with a river in it and really pretty. And it felt when you were in the city like it was a big city, right? It really did. But then you drive 5 minutes from his house and you could see as far as you could see was just flat land. It was so weird because the city itself was pretty rolly and hills and mountains, and it seemed like it. I don't know. I know the name of it, but I just went blank on it. But it's Seattle, Washington's on this side, and it's inland. Spokane, Washington. That's it. Pretty city. Sometime Google it if you've never seen it. It's really pretty. But it was shocking to see right outside where he lived was just as far as your eyes could see, flat land, farmland. It's really weird. Traveling salespeople, I know. And waiters. Harold worked for Chasen's here in LA, which is where a lot of the big celebrities ate. And he had funny stories. I mean, oh my God, really funny stories. Yeah, he passed away at the prime of his life. He did. People come up and talk to me about it all the time who wish they had said something to my dad before he passed away. I did. I'd written him a whole letter telling him how much I loved him, how sorry I was for being such a knucklehead as a teenager. And I always tell people, let people know because they don't live forever. And, it's having heard so many people how much they wish they could have thanked my dad for teaching him how to play softball or basketball or ping pong or whatever. He just did all kinds of stuff around the community. And people say, I just wish I could have thanked your father. And, that he changed their life. I mean, it's very sweet. It really is. But I happened to just sit down and write him a letter, and he just got it before he passed away. So, and part of the letter was I wanted to be an auditor in Scientology. And I went to speak at CFI, Center for Inquiry, which are like skeptics. And they all burst out laughing. And they said, that's probably why he died, because he found out you were joining Scientology. I'm sure it wasn't. But anyway, it was funny. And it was an error in my comment. I typed, oh, don't worry about it. That's okay. Instead of and. All right. Okay, this is a Harbor Freight tools. Yeah, I remember Dan, my friend, missionary kid. He loves Harbor Freight. Oh, your dad was a manufacturer's representative also, Connie? Amazing. Same thing. He sold and serviced schools and hospitals and restaurants, food, service, fryers, ovens, Printers, chairs, wow, tables. That's amazing. That was a whole different thing than my dad. My dad was really weird what he did. Because, my mom took it over after he passed away. And she said, Tori, I don't know what to do. I mean, what he was selling were casts for making tools. So maybe men will understand that, but I didn't. But, it's just like a casting, a metal cast for making certain tools, for RB tools. And I have no idea what he actually sold. Like, did he go around and say, oh, we've got a better cast, or it's less money, or I don't know. He never talked about it, ever. It's really weird. But that's interesting, Connie, that both our dads were manufacturers. Did you know what a manufacturer's representative was? I never did, and neither did my mom. Spokane, yeah, that's right. Hi, YRB, Idaho. I don't know. What about Idaho? Maybe Moses Lake, Washington. No, it was Spokane. Spokane is what it was. Okay, this is from Jamie. Comment, only time I'd rather winter is when it is warmer weather. Yeah, exactly. When it's not too freezing cold. But in Chicago, that's very rare. It is fun, though. I mean, the snow and stuff like that when you're a kid, it's really fun. I mean, we used to watch TV and be like, it snowed all night. Turn on the TV, and we'd turn it on, and of course we only had 3 channels back then. But they'd come on and they'd go, today, certain schools are closed because of the it snowed so much. So this is a list of the schools that have closed. And we'd be sitting there, it'd be like this school and that school and Highland Park and da. Then they'd say Maine East. We'd be like, woo, we're off for the day. And we'd all put on our ice skates and go down to South Park and skate all day. Yep, Spokane. Yeah, there's a lot of farmland there, Connie. Bigfoot lives there. You have? You've heard about that? That's funny. Troy, your dad sounds like such a cool man. He was a very, very cool man. I was very blessed with both my mom and dad. My mom, as a young girl, was wonderful until my dad passed away. She was great. And then she got sucked in with a real con man. And, that's a whole nother story for another time. But they both were great. I always say I had the best foundation a house could possibly have, which was my parents, and all the stuff they gave us as kids. And, every summer we'd go on trips and they'd pick a place, all these different places, Niagara Falls and Grand Canyon and stuff like that, where they wanted us to see these different amazing things. And we'd go, and to this day, I always say to my friends, because, we'll be somewhere and someone will have to go to the bathroom, and I'll say, use my mother's policy. Everybody go and try. And it's always funny because everybody has to pee. That's always the way it is. So anyway. Okay, C of S should use Lafayette. Whatever. I don't think so. I think it's a little bit too late for that. Special that you were able to write your dad. I know. That was a true blessing. That's why I tell people that, because I was the only person in my family, in my entire family, or his family, or my life, my whole life, people come up to me and say, I wish I could have told your dad this. And so I tried to tell people, really, if you love someone and they've helped you in your life, take time now to write them a little note. You know what I mean? You never know how much it's going to mean to them. And it really it'll mean a lot to you. You know what I mean? Like it meant a lot to me to write it. But then when he passed away, it was just like, oh my God, thank God I wrote him that. Because I had a lot to say. I really did. I wrote him about being crazy as a teenager, and I wasn't any crazier than, well, some people say I wasn't any crazier, but I was pretty crazy. All right. Here's a comment from Connie. One picture, I picture a cast kind of like a mold. Okay, and no, I did not know what it was for quite a long time. Yeah, I know. That's what my mom said. She said, Tori, don't feel bad. I didn't know either. And that's his wife, and she didn't know. Don't forget to love, to like, heart. Osa, don't like seeing the likes and subscriptions. Well, very true, Sophie, very true. They hate it. They do. I mean, you have to get, I started with nothing. And anonymous, that's what the day I started my webcam. And I went from 0 to 10,000 subscribers in a couple of days. It was amazing. It was just an amazing thing to experience because very few people had videos out then. And they just put it everywhere. It was like all over the world. Tori Magoo spoke, most looked at, most talked about, it was something. It really was. It was in 2008. Okay, Connie. Oh, okay, we read that. It never snows there. Yeah, because you're in Texas, right, Connie? I think you said you're in Texas. Yeah. My dad was an audio-visual technical specialist. Ooh, cool. He was a TV radio repair guy. Well, that's kind of cool. That had to help around your house. I always think that's kind of a lucky one because TVs and radios always break down. Okay, Chi, question. Was it common for people right after the Pura seeming really ill but were happy to detox so they dismissed discomfort? I didn't see a lot of that. I have to be honest. You're in a Pura with 4 or 5 people. So that was it. It wasn't like I saw tons of people going through purification rundowns. I mean, they do them and you hear I did it, but you don't see people sick. No, I nearly died because I think of my medicine for epilepsy and it kind of, whatever happened with it. It was kind of bad. But, and another friend of mine went blind she had medicine for diabetes. And I think it turned her, she went blind from it. And, I always say, don't do it. It's like one of my favorite stories on the Pure was my husband's partner's wife. Their kid got into drugs. And she said, you know what, screw this. And we were in the cult at the time. She said, I'm not going to pay for that stupid Pure. I'm going to just put him in my bathroom and, turn on the shower and he can just chill out. He can just get, detox right there in my bathroom. It cracked me up. Some of this stuff Scientologists do. She wasn't really a Scientologist, but that was her solution. I didn't see many, but that doesn't mean they weren't. I just didn't see many that were really ill, but were happy to detox, so they dismissed the discomfort. They weren't really ill, but it was very uncomfortable, I think. But some people thought it was the greatest thing on earth. I remember Ivan Obolensky. He did it 4 times, and I was in there with him once, and I said, why do you keep doing it? And he said, I just feel so great afterwards. I mean, it just takes out all the toxins, and I just feel terrific. So more people you hear about say they feel better. Now, is that true or not? I don't know, because so many things in Scientology, it's kind of in your head. And so, you just say, oh yeah, I had a really good win on that. But now looking back, you're like, really? What was the win on my Dianetics? I had nothing, nothing. But I know that I went to the examiner and I thought I had a win. I think the biggest win for me, but I couldn't face it, was I got out of that session, because they didn't really work for me. I was supposed to handle epilepsy, and Dianetics was not going to fix epilepsy. So anyway, it was kind of a mess for me. Tori, what's the big difference between how celebrations are done in Scientology versus normal society? Okay. Well, that's what I was trying to say. First of all, in Scientology, excuse me, there's the Sea Org and public. So those two right away are dramatically different. The Sea Org are there 24/7, 365 days a year. So they go by whatever David Miscavige and their bosses ahead, above them up to Miscavige decide should happen for any holiday. Sometimes they have days off. Sometimes they have a Sea Org day where they all go to the beach. Sometimes they do little celebrations kind of thing to make it seem like they're like normal people. The public do just celebrate like how everybody else does, I think. I mean, it wasn't that much different for us, except sometimes they would really run you have to come to flag, our stats are down and we really need you guys to come here to do your 6-month check. So for we OT7s, that was kind of a thing we would fight. And you'd have to plan it ahead of time and go, okay, for Christmas, which this is now what, September, so October. I mean, I would have brought it up probably in July or June. For this Christmas, I'm not going to be at Flag. And I planned my 6-month checks around it so I could be home with my family and not have to be at Flag doing my 6-month checks. But you have to plan ahead. And that's true for the regular world. If you're just out working and you want some time off, you have to plan way ahead. And I always tell people, get it in now. Don't be waiting right until the end and then say, oh, I want to go see my family. They'll go, too bad. There's 50 other people ahead of you that already got okayed. Not 50, but, like 10 or 15 people that we already okayed, they get to do it. So you've got to start early. And that's true for any company. Well, not all companies, but most companies. Good night, Julie. She says, good night, all. All right. And this is Sophie. He sounds like a very useful guy. I love when people can fix things. Me too. That's Drew. He's like the king of fixing things. I always tell him you should start a YouTube site because I swear he'd have 1 million people following him because he has so many little things that he knows. Good night, Julie. Aw, it's like he uses us kids to help. Ah. Human remotes and antenna. That's funny. Oh, Hot Mama too. Good night. And Chad. Thanks for coming by. Okay, and here's Connie. Tori went viral, and yes, I'm in Texas, swinging Sin City of Spring, Texas. All right. That's a big state. I drove through Texas. Woo! A couple of times. I have my own sauna in my house? Really? It's dangerous to be in there that long. Wow. That's amazing. And do you feel better when you're after you've done it? Ooh. Okay, here's this person, Tori. What do you think about your Santa Fe green chili apple pie? It's served hot with, ooh, that sounds good. All right, what do you think? You're in Santa Fe, try green chili apple pie. Green chili apple pie? All right, I will try it. Green chili apple pie. All right, so Shade Tree Mechanic, you've got to, if you want to, and you can, send me a private message and we'll see if we can meet, in the airport kind of thing. I know. Well, it wasn't horrible. The kid didn't mind at all. He was happier detoxing in his own bathroom than in the purification with Scientology and all. There, they have you have to drink all those awful oils and it's awful. What is the policy on tattoos with staff? I don't know. I don't think they had them back when I was in Scientology. So I don't really know. I don't. You have to ask a Sea Org guy. Somebody newer out. Okay, Connie. I guess it depends on what your detox is from. Yeah. Saunas are good for you, but not for hours. Right. Yeah, and theirs is, I think, 4 or 5 hours. That's too funny. The detox in the bathroom versus the pure. I know. I thought it was hysterical, and especially because I don't even know if she was a Scientologist, but if she wasn't, her husband was, and they worked for a Scientology company, so she was sort of like surrounded by Scientologists, and she just said, "Tori, I'm not going to pay for it. No, he can go in the bathroom and get off drugs that way, and I'll monitor it and I'll make sure he gets through it." And he did. It worked really good. Uh, but she's the only person I ever heard do that. Sophie, what's considered worth celebrating is, oh God, they have all kinds of stuff for L. Ron Hubbard Day, Dianetics Day. They have all kinds of Scientology little celebrations. But I'm talking about public holidays, like Christmas, Easter, Mother's Day, Father's Day, different things like that. Like at Flag, it was really interesting when Mother's Day would come because some people would send huge, and this is for public, they would send huge bouquets of these beautiful flowers on down to, another bouquet to another bouquet to, a couple of flowers kind of thing. It was really interesting to watch and how much it affected people, because a lot of people can't afford to get those big giant bouquets. So it was interesting to watch. It was. And I bought, like I had just a gold ring that I had as a wedding ring. And I wanted more like a diamond or something, but I knew we weren't going to get a diamond because we were giving all our money to Scientology. So I went to JCPenney's and I got this square. It's a cubic zirconian ring. It's a square. And it was so much fun. I would get in the elevator with Sea Org guys and I'd say, "Hey, check out my ring." And they go, "It's really pretty." And I'd say, "Yeah, it's $20 at JCPenney's." And they go, "Really?" And I'd say, "Yeah, go get one." Because a lot of the public would always be wearing these real fancy rings and stuff. And of course, they could never get them. So I got it mostly to tell them, you can have one too. And it was really beautiful. It really looked like a real diamond. And they were so happy to hear they could go get it. It was really funny. Okay, the only time I used the sauna here, okay, let's see, in Australia was as a 12-year-old after swimming training, and it was so freaking I might be where my gloves are from. Oh, yeah. Dianetics could help you with that. That's what they would say. Oh, would it really? Not really, but anyway, that could be it, though. Links where you can also support Tori. Oh, here they are. Here are the links. There you go. Thank you. My link tree. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that, Sophie. Oh, all right. It made you feel great. That's what Ivan Obolinski would say. He was the only person I ever heard who raved about it. But I'm glad to hear somebody else did too. My guess is no visible tattoos. Scientology is pretty straight looking, in my outside opinion. It got straighter. I remember when Miscavige arrived at Flag, and he said, "Okay, that's it. This party's over. Everybody's going to cut your hair. You're going to get out of these hippie. You're having a great time. We're going after the doctors, the dentists, and chiropractors and professionals, and you have to look professional." So it was sort of like, I doubt if they had, big tattoos. They probably could have little ones. And now I don't know. Okay, now here's something. It says, question. Yes, Tori, that's what I was wondering. How do they celebrate Scientology days versus normal things like Christmas? Well, again, Sophie, it's two people, like the Sea Org people. They have different things. I still think they have a celebration for the Sea Org people, and they have a special dinner for them and stuff like that. But it isn't like an all-day thing. I don't know that they have many gifts, that kind of thing. But I don't know. You'd have to ask a Sea Org member. Ask Nora. She would know. Or Liz Gable. Liz Gale. Yeah, they would know. But anyway, for us, it was very similar to how regular people celebrate Christmas. Only we didn't go to church. And as a kid, we did. We were Catholic, so I think we went to midnight mass. That's right, because we always wanted to be able to just get up and go see our tree. So we'd go to midnight mass the night before, so we could see the tree and the gifts underneath it and stuff in the morning. All right, now look at this. Someone wonderful sent me this. Sue Herman. I don't know if she's on here ever, but she sent me this, and it's really sweet. Let me get it open. It's really cool. Okay. Uh-oh. Come on, open up. Oh, come on. I'm going to cut the little thing. Okay. Ooh, look at this. Cool. This is what it is. It's like a charging thing. Cool, huh? It says wireless lavalier microphones. Oh, so it's the microphones. Oh, good. Good. That'll help. Because I really think for people that are asking other people questions, we all need to have microphones. Because the ring, that's for my doorbell. That's from Tori. I've been watching your videos since Xenu TV went up. You're a national treasure. Thank you for your activism and courage. From Belgarath. Thank you. How nice that people have been watching me that long. It's very sweet. So that's cool. I'll have to try these microphones the next time I'm out. I think you have to charge them up, but I got to find out. That's one thing I admit I'm not that good at, but Drew helps me with it a lot because he is kind of a fix-it guy. Yeah, they're fabulous gifts. Thank you, Verity. I've gotten some wonderful gifts from all of you. It's been really, really, really meant a lot to me. It's kind of amazing. It is. It really is. It's, like DOA said, this woman's been on the internet for 24 years. She has 5 million views, and she's never made a dime on any of this. And he said, start chipping in money. It was really cute. It was really sweet. I really appreciated it. I know. They're cool gifts. So I wanted to show you guys because I've had them here for a while. And this was another thing I got. It's like it's a different color than that, but somebody sent me that. And that's cool. I forget who sent me that. Oh yeah, here's the other thing. Anyway, my room is it's like Toys R Us or something, or like not Big Five. What is it? Best Buy. It's like Best Buy, like I have all these different things that are, but I've got to have somebody help me with most of them because I don't know how to do them. Okay, Shade Tree Mechanic. I want to write an email to her so I can send her my phone number, but when I look, it just says all her Venmos, PayPal, Cash App. There's not a Gmail. All right, here's the Gmail. Write it down now. It should be an email. It's my name, 44, which is my dad, at gmail.com. So that's my email. Tori Chrisman 44 at gmail.com. Now, the best thing, honestly, Shade Tree, if you're writing it down, this is the other thing. Send me a text at that number and just say, check your email after you send the email, because I'm very bad at emails. I'm really bad at them. But my friends all send me a text at that, not for Zelle, but that's just the number they use. And then they say, and I get it. That's my text thing. Oh, thank you, Sophie. 24 years of advocacy. Thank you. Very sweet, from New Zealand. That's so sweet. You're very welcome. You were born and raised, Leanne. I was born and raised, and then I don't think you finished it. I was born and raised in Joliet, Illinois. Okay, thank you. I had a feeling there was a little more to that. Yeah, cool. Well, that's good. That's good. And I bet they celebrate. See, that's the other thing. And for like Labor Day weekend, I remember in Chicago, they used to have parades and stuff like that. Okay, good night, Nanya. Never in, always against. Peace out. So I should probably go too, unless someone has some questions. Thank you, Sophie. Sweet dreams. I'm trying to think. Yeah. Does anybody have any plans for for tomorrow? I don't think I do. I think I'm going to see some of my friends. That's it. My grandparents owned the Hudson Lake Resort and Blue Lantern Casino at the end of the South Shore line. Wow, neat. Now, where is that at, YRB? That's kind of cool. Here. My grandparents owned the Hudson Lake Resort and Blue Lantern Casino at the end of the South Shore line. Would they let you go into it? Could you go into it? Oh, yeah, I got to get rid of this. Wait. Okay. Would they let you go into the casino? It's 2 a.m. Yeah, it's 1 a.m. here. Okay. Thanks, Tori, Sophie, and Chat. You are welcome, Verity. Yes, all the Joliet days. Cool. Uh-oh. I didn't mean that. How do I get out? There we go. Here you are. Yeah, that sounds fun. Lots of local days and parades. Yeah, that's right. Parades and stuff like that. And I think it was a new Carlisle, Michigan. Oh, it was in New Carlisle, Michigan. Oh, we used to go up to Michigan a lot from Chicago. Nice, Verity. My name is Charles. Okay, good to know. It's a good name. Well, I'll have to see, the tricky thing, I'm thinking about it though. I don't know that I'll be able to, because I think I have to get there. Oh no, I'm going to be there way early. I remember I planned it out where I'm going to be early. So maybe I can. We'll have to talk it out and see. I'll send you my phone number and then you can just call me up. It was more like a dance hall than a bar. So yes, kids were welcome with their parents. Aw, that's cute. That's very sweet. That had to be fun as a little kid, to go to stuff like that with your grandparents. All of us have, not all, but many, many people have wonderful memories with their grandparents. Some have good memories with their parents, some don't, but most people have good memories with their grandparents. It's just, I don't know what it is. There's a certain, like, I just realized with Danny, Danny that's with our, protesting group, He's 23 years old. I said, Daddy, you could be my grandson. I was amazed. My grandfather and father played or sat in on some very famous bands. Oh, that's got to be cool. Very cool. Oh, thank you, Shade Tree Mechanic. Super sticker. Thank you for that. Very, very thank you. I appreciate it. And this is a thing from YRB. My grandfather and father played and sat in on some very famous bands at the time. Your grandparents probably knew my dad if they were into football at all. You know, anybody who was into football, they knew my dad if they're older. Yeah, see, Sophie, I love my grandparents. They were English, and my pop was an amazing cook. Yeah, isn't it amazing how many men love to cook, and they're good at it too? They're really good. My husband was the cook for our family. I mean, I tried to cook, but he'd always be like, you need more salt, you need more of this, that. And finally one day I said, do you want to cook? And he said, yeah. And boy, man, he would go to town. He loved cooking. It was like a therapy for him. Interesting. I think it's true for a lot of guys. They're good cooks. Oh, that's nice about your grandparents. They were English. That's amazing. You're from New Zealand. When I cook, people call it survival food. They don't like it. Well, my son was very sweet to me because my husband would go out of town and I would cook because now my husband, who was the cook, was gone. And he said, you know, Mom, you're actually a pretty good cook, you know, just so you know. Because I always felt really kind of like he didn't really think I was that good of a cook. But my son thought so. He thought, yeah, you're okay now. He's a good kid. Survival food, that is funny, Shade Tree Mechanic. I love a man that can cook. I know. Don't we all? I think people love anybody who can cook. You know, if you can cook, it's a good thing. I can't. They probably did, and my father probably knew you at the time. We don't want to talk about. Why not? Why don't we want to talk about it? I don't get that. I'm missing something. Okay, what's your best dish you like to make? Breakfast. That's it. That's the only thing I'm really good at. Either breakfast or hamburgers. That's it. I'm really not a cook at all. Where my mom was born in England. Ooh, so lots of family are still there. Ooh, we're English colony as well. Oh, that's nice. So can you go back and forth like your dual citizenship? That'd be cool. I can't really say, Shade Tree, that I have that great of anything that I make. Baking I can do. I'm good at baking. We do want to hear about it. Yeah, I want to hear about it. Tell us what you're talking about. They probably did, and my father probably knew you at a time we don't want to talk about. What time? What? When I was in? I don't mind. I mean, I'm always talking about when I was in. Maybe you don't want to talk about it, but you can next time. Okay. Or you can send me a little private message. You know, if it's something where you don't want it to be public, you can send me a private message. Because if I knew him, that'd be fun. That'd be really fun. And I'm good at keeping things very quiet. I won't say anything. I know. I'm the same. That's the problem. That's how I gained 100 pounds and have lost and kept it off for 15 years or 14 years. Yeah, my love sweets, sometimes oatmeal raisin cookies. I love oatmeal raisin cookies. I was just thinking about those because that's one thing I can cook really well, are cookies. But the problem for me, and Weight Watchers taught me this, don't bring your enemies home with you. And it's such a great thing to remember because once it's in the house, if you're an overeater at all, you're going to eat it. That's just the way it is. So just don't bring it in the house. and I used to have those parties, with like a potluck where everybody brought stuff from, and I'd figure out, appetizers, main meal, drinks, and desserts. So there was tons of food always, and I'd say everyone has to take the food out, and they go, no, no, we don't really want to, and I'd say, I don't care, give it to your neighbors, throw it in the trash, do whatever you want, but I can't throw food out. Number one, and I'll eat it, so I can't leave it here. So anyway, okay, all right, not dual citizenship, Tori, but I can get a British passport because my mom. Oh, nice. That's nice. YRB, okay. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, that'd be good. You have my email, right? My email, Sophie, they should be able to see it. Someone said earlier that they couldn't see it. And that shouldn't be. Damn it. Now I forgot to do that. So just make sure, make sure that they can. Hi, T. Perth Scientology audit. Cool. Thank you, YRB. I love that. That'll be cool. Oh, wait, here's a few starred things I didn't see. I'm sorry. Oh, Sophie, thank you. And Shade Tree Mechanic, thank you. Okay, yeah, I think we got all the three of the stars. Very nice, you guys. Very sweet. Here's Sophie. This was earlier, if you missed it. And here's Shade Tree Mechanic. Aw, nice. And then Connie just said this, just to keep up appearances. You were talking about your husband being a bad job. It wasn't bad. It's just he didn't like it. And he didn't ever know what to get. So I just thought, I know what to get. I saw stuff all year long, and you see it on sale, and you think, oh, this would be a good thing. But if you wait till Christmas, everything's just jacked up so much. So I started in January, just whenever this, like Labor Day weekend, boom, go out, find things that you like. They're not really expensive. I never bought expensive things, but they're just things that I'd like. You know what I mean? And I always went to like gift shows. Like these are all from wholesale gift shows. So normally they'd be like $20, $40, and I'd get them for $5 at the wholesale gift show. So that was fun. All my jewelry I got at the wholesale. This ring I got at the wholesale gift show. Yeah, I got my pink. This is for Carlos. He always cracks up when I do that. My brothers and I always do this. This is a thing that we've done since we were little kids. Anyway, there you go. If anybody has any other questions, let me know. Or I think we'll call it a wrap. If you haven't hit the like button, please do. And if you can bring other people, please bring them over. I'd like to have, I'd like to see the site growing, so that we have more people, new people, because, then more people learn about Scientology and what it is and what it isn't. And the key thing is that it is a cult. It doesn't work. And we, people like myself, spent 30 years in it and realized it's just a scam. It's nothing good. It's not that it's nothing good. I won't say that, because my friends, and they don't want their names on it, and one of them already passed away, but they spent years ago tracing most of the technology that L. Ron Hubbard claims is his down to fantastic philosophies and authors and, things that people highly respect and use in life. Buddhism and Taoism and, just all kinds of different things. And Hubbard would steal part of it, put his little twist on it, wrap it up, and put his name on it and say, I wrote that. So that's why people sometimes don't get, well, how could people stay so long in Scientology? And A, it's like the Truman Show, like I say. But B, it's a lot of the technology is based on things that are really cool, that people really like. So it isn't that it's all evil and it's all bad, which I've heard people say. And I don't believe that because it's based on things that are very, very useful. It's just that he's put his twist on it, and his twist, for the most part, is pretty evil and creepy and screws it up. So it doesn't really work. But you don't see that because, and that's why I say it's like the Truman Show, because you can't see the walls from the day you get in. So there you go. Anyway, you guys have heard this story before. I love you. Have a wonderful Labor Day. And don't labor unless you go into labor. And if you do, have a wonderful labor. There you go. I love you. Thank you, Sophie, very much for helping. And thank you all for coming here. And Shade Tree Mechanic, I look forward to hearing from you. All right. So I think that's it. I'm going to hit end stream. Good night.